Today on the channel, like a young Bob Seger, we turn the page with the Masters Universe Filmation, Beastman and He-Man.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Masters Universe unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something extremely special as we got our first look at the brand new Masters Universe Filmation series from Mattel. But remember, for all your Masters Universe needs and everything else under the sun, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on all in-stock items, anything over $79. Does ship free. Got to get a deal out there. And the brand new Filmation series, which we first saw at San Diego Comic-Con, quite the time at San Diego Comic-Con every year, obviously. Some great lines to wade into, like we've talked about, but a lot of cool stuff to see, a lot of cool stuff to check out, and a lot of cool presentations to sit in and listen in on. And I got to listen into the Masters Universe one, where they talked about these, and then I got to see them out on the show floor, and here we are. We're ready to go. We got these figures in hand, or I should say I do, I guess. Maybe some of you do as well. But very excited to dive into this one here. And this truly, like a young Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Oh, meet me at the crossroads, I think was the song. Not my scene, but you know what I mean. But I was at the crossroads in a collector's relationship with He-Man in a lot of ways. We've all been there if you're a serious collector. I'm like, okay, the Origins is winding down. I'm a mint on card and loose completist of that line. I got them all. There's going to be some on Creations. That's fine. It's nearing down. Now there's this new Filmation series. What does a guy do? I go back and forth. I'm like, well, the carding's the same. It's similar. It's cool. It's new. But it's technically a new line. Maybe this would be a perfect time to get out of the mint on card stuff. Space getting tight everywhere for everybody. I know how it goes. And I was just sitting there. I was down in the dumps. I was doing one of these, just trying to assess my life and my collecting life. And well, good brother of the channel, old Jeff George, he threw me a pass all the way from the Indiana Colts. Maybe a different Jeff George, but Jeff said, no, you got to be all in. And then I gave in to peer pressure. You should never do it, but I did. So now here I am. I'm going loose. I'm going mint on card. We'll see how the dust settles on that one. But as of right now, the Double Up Club continues for me. You guys let me know in your comments down below. Are you still going to be a part of the Double Up Club? If you were even part of that club. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Or I do, obviously. But of course, we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to start it off, though, with Beastman. Hairy bipedal creatures first. Sure, it sounds good today. I don't know. But we're going Beastman #1 here from the Filmation series. And as you can imagine, we're going to do some comparisons later on in this video as well. But how about this? Same size carding as Origins. Same kind of feel, but absolutely totally different here. We got the Masters of the Universe right here. He-Man in the Masters Universe, I should say. Beastman, the Savage Henchman, 80s Adventures, cartoon collection in that Filmation kind of cartoon coloring there, right there. Now, this makes a lot of sense because, honestly, Origin's a great line. One of the greatest lines of the last decade, I would say. A lot of nostalgia with that line. I've seen it firsthand out at retail on my toy hunts with people seeing it for the first time. So, a gangbuster set out there, the Origins, I'm here for it all day long. But it was getting long in the tooth, and that's the thing. I think like the average toy line lasts like 3 series. That might even be high. So you don't get a lot of series after series and, you know, Origins into the teens now. But what happens is, unfortunately, the heavy hitters, the Beastmans, the He-Mans, you can only do so many times. You're getting some of the CD list characters, which of course the hardcores like. But there's a lot of young collectors. There's new collectors. There's people getting into the line saying, well, I love those Origins, but I missed the first 5 waves. I'm out. Well, freshen it up, put something like this out, bam, you got people starting in, people jumping in from the beginning. It's similar, but different, and it's something a lot of fans have wanted for a long time, because if you're like me, Filmation is where I cut my teeth on He-Man. That is where I first came into He-Man. I have to imagine the majority of people, that's where they came into He-Man at. Maybe some came in straight from the figures, maybe some came in from comic books, who knows. But the toy line and, of course, the cartoon being the big ones, at least from where I sit, and as you guys know, right here at this very table. But we do got Beastman going on. It says 80s Adventures at the top, too. This is unpunched, but I do got a minty mint one that's hanging on a wall right now for me. Beastman in the package. I see some things I don't like about this Beastman. We'll talk about that in a second. Then on the back, very familiar to the Origin style here, you got the cross-sell, the rest of the team. Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, coming to a future unboxing whenever I do land those ones. UPCs, jibber-jabbers, all that kind of stuff, some glamour shots, and then, of course, the beautiful artwork at the top. Let's see what it says about our friend Beastman. So it looks like, as seen on the Dragon Invasion episode, I think that was one where they were trying to get an egg or something. Weren't they trying to get, like, an egg of a dragon or something like that? Been a long time since I've watched the He-Man. I gotta be honest, out of all the 80s cartoons I absolutely loved, He-Man probably holds up the worst out of the bunch. I don't know. I didn't watch Silverhawks as a little kid. I don't know what I would have thought about that little copper kid. You seen that copper kid? Man, he gets on my nerves, and I've only seen like 3 episodes. But I don't know how I would have dealt with him when I was a kid. I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. Until the time machine's invented, we'll never know. But it doesn't hold up. I tried to go through the He-Man. I got down 20 episodes in or something, and I said, okay, I'll come back later, and I haven't come back. But anyways, includes comic book, always good, modernizing and celebrating the original 80s Masters Universe animated series. It includes a hover ray. Everybody needs a hover ray. Twist into powerful positions. Looks like he does have his whip here. And then you got He-Man, Beastman, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor in the first series. Some of the heaviest hitters of all time. There is no doubt about it right there. But without further ado, let's get him out of the package, and you got to be gentle. You got to be gentle. You got to just take it out. You don't want any shenanigans. We don't want to be ripping them comic books. We know how that goes. See you later. Goodbye. All right, see you later. Plastic prison. Old Beastman doing beastly things in the plastic prison. Wouldn't expect any less from Beastman. I always like Beastman. You know, it's interesting. You look at, like, as currently filming this, the Mondo Beastman just ended its pre-order run. When I think of Beastman, I think of something like that. Just a savage, wild beast. But then he's sometimes in cartoons and stuff, he's kind of just a dumb oaf. And I always feel bad for him in those kind of episodes. But he is an evil henchman of Skeletor. He's just paid to do henchman things, not to run the plays, I guess we'll say. Bam! Oh, my gosh, dangerous. See you later. Twist tie's coming at you. There we go, twist tie pile right there. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to Beastman business here. Put the accessories aside. We do get the little instructions here. Of course, much like the Origin figures, you can pop everything off, mix and match, do whatever you want. Choose your own action figure adventure. Spider-Man style, bam, see you later, goodbye. Then we do get the comic book. Here for that, it's the Mask of the Magi. The Magi, okay, I thought I was going to say magic. Mask of the Magi, all right. So we got quite the story here. We got a little mask here. You got Beastman wearing the mask, driving around in his Roton. That is one thing. They said though. The Rotons of the world, things like that, they work with these too. So they don't need to re-release those vehicles. You can use them for these figures, which I think is good. But it's your typical He-Man Masters Universe comic book we've got with all the Origins. Continuing that saga over to Filmation, that does work for me. Now we get down to the accessories here, and we got old Beastman. We got his classic whip here. I always felt like he was like a circus entertainer with this thing, like, you know, getting the lion or something, getting it with the whip, and then it was almost like a cone he could yell through and stuff. But it is a nice whip. You got a nice kind of cord. Almost reminds me of toy ring ropes for wrestling rings. That's kind of the string they got going on there. Red handle on the side, little plastic piece. Just a whip that Beastman would use, no doubt about it. Then we got this hover ray, which of course, from that episode, to me, don't need to use this with him. I don't really need this on display with him because this is just one specific episode this was used in. This wasn't like a big story arc. This isn't, you know, the Power Sword or something like that, or whatever it may be, you know, Man-at-Arms Hammer Club type thing. That's iconic. This not quite iconic here, but I guess I do like it. It's something new. It's something different they added to the figure, so we're here for that. But now we get down to the main event. We get down to old Beastman right here. And the first thing I got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed in this. Now, I was very fortunate enough at San Diego Comic-Con to get to hold the actual prototype of this figure, and I was absolutely blown away by that. I loved how vibrant the orange color was on the prototype. This has been severely muted, and I get it, you know, it just depends on the cartoon. Sometimes he was different, sometimes he was a little different than this and that. I understand how all that stuff goes, but I really like the bright red Beastman. Not as bright red as the LOP Beastman, but just a good orange color to him. I just thought it really did work, and it looked amazing. This is just a little bit too muted for me. It still works. I still know who it is. I just wish we had a little bit more of that darker orange color to him. But at the end of the day, Beastman all day long. You know it's Beastman in that head. You got the blue around the eyes. Then you got the hair, the big old beard. You got the pointed ears. Beastman all day, even any color. If this was in black, I would say, well, that's Beastman. I don't know what's going on. Why is he in blackface? What's he doing? You're not supposed to do that, I would think. Who knows? But Beastman, I would know who this is, definitely. But definitely looks good. There's no doubt about it. Got the big vest going on, very iconic to Beastman. You got the shoulder pads, very iconic to Beastman once again. He is hitchhiking today. He's got 2 thumbs up. I don't know if anybody will pick him up, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. No extra hands with this, nothing else, no other weapons, things like that. He does got a little belt going on, kind of a limey yellow color. Got the blue Eternia loincloth going on, a fashion staple as we do know. And then you got the red boots. Of course, arms going all the way around on him. You get the side to side at the elbow, single jointed, hands back 4 side to side, waist articulation back 4 side to side, head back 4 side to side. You get the legs, a little bit of split action side to side at the knees, single jointed knees, boot cut, ankles, back 4 side to side. Unfortunately, it looks like his vest is a little bit tight on him. It will slip out on you. I've been fighting with that. I'm going to have to work on that to get that to stay, because that's all you want is his vest falling off on you. It's very tight. It is very tight, that vest on him. He should fit on a ringside collectible stand. I don't know why he wouldn't. He does. Fits perfectly on that stand, as you can imagine. Very, very cool looking figure here. And let's get out the prior edition of Beastman. Now, this is what I think of with Beastman as a kid playing with the toy and stuff. Very similar. I also really do like, this is the orange color I'm talking about, a little bit brighter over here. I don't know, maybe that's my brain confusing the TV show and the action figure, but I'd like to meet somewhere in the middle. Anyways, it does work, but a little brighter, a little brighter. But you can see the similarities, but some of the differences here. No doubt about it, there is some differences. And the cool thing is you can plug and play between these if you wanted to. You can also see the body style, a little bit kind of thinner in the torso area. Just very similar to this, but also at the same time, just a hair different between those two. So I think that is very interesting. Very similar a weapon. I think it is identical. Yes, absolutely identical weapon, except it is in black here. It's in red on this side, so gotta get the most out of your molds. But then the natural comparison is, I believe Super 7 Mattel, Super 7 Master Universe Classics. We got the Beastman and the Filmation episodes too, so you can kind of compare that to these. Obviously a lot more pricey in this day and age. People that wanted these missed out on these. Get a second lease on life in a lot of ways with this set right here. So can't really complain about any Beastman. Anytime I get a Beastman figure, it's a good day at the office. But man, you guys know me, I'm a classics guy. There's a lot of nostalgia with these for me. I don't know, really is choose your own adventure at the end of the day, what you like. And you know what they always say, you like what you like, you don't what you don't. So, but there it is, there's old Beastman Filmation, an interesting one, full of twists and turns, really, at the end of the day. But now I guess we turn our attention over to the main eventer, He-Man himself. You can't have a He-Man collection without He-Man. I always felt bad for those kids. Well, I had a Ram Man, I had a Merman, I had an Orko, but I didn't have anybody else. I didn't have any bad guys, or I didn't have He-Man. I feel like you have to have He-Man and Skeletor at all times, and here is a perfect chance to get a brand new He-Man Filmation inspired in your collection. Much like Beastman, very similar packaging design. Got the old 80s logo, got the blue background there, looking really cool. Feels like Origins, but feels different, as we did say earlier. You got He-Man in the package as well. The most powerful man in the universe, 80s Adventures, cartoon collection. Loving it. I'm here for it. We got the glamour shots on the side there. You got the cross-sell jibber jabber at the bottom. Then, of course, the beautiful artwork at the top. Let's see what it says about old He-Man on the back here. As seen on Masks of Power, includes comic book, of course. Includes the Sword of Ancients. So it's from one of those episodes, there was a Sword of Ancients. And, of course, you get the classic Power Sword as well here. Talked about Beastman, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, the other ones in this set as well. So there it is. Looking really good, looking cool on the back of the package. Everybody needs He-Man, so I think this will be a good one out there. Everybody, I can see a lot of people, maybe they're not fully in on this line, but they'll get He-Man, Skeletor. Perfect desk displays, as we always say. See you later, goodbye. Little He-Man in the plastic prison, looking pretty cool right there. Gonna pull him out. Oh, twist ties, of course. Because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we get the twist ties going? And they're very hard to get into, these twist ties. And it looks like He-Man's really kind of crouched in the package as well, which is always an interesting day at the office. But we're going to get him out. We always do. There it goes. A couple twist ties falling out. Bam! See you later off the screen, just off the side there. Of course, we do get the same exact comic book, Mask of the Magi. Oh, shout out to the Magi. Shout out to them. Bam! See you later, Spider-Man style. Scissors, putting them away. One of the most dangerous weapons in the house, no doubt about it. Then we get old He-Man, and like I said, he needed to be straightened up pretty good. He was pretty crouched in that package. Man, oh man, what are we dealing with? What are we dealing with? Well, first thing we're dealing with is two swords. We got the brand new sword and then the old favorite, both new sculpts. We haven't seen these before. I'm glad they gave us a straight up new sword instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, or they reinvented the wheel, and I'm happy about that. Instead of just giving us the old origin sword, I really think that's a plus. I think that was needed to be done. Get the handle the right shape, get all that stuff ready to go, and it looks like they did that. This other sword is what it is. I am not super familiar with this, but it is from an episode, of course, so we're bringing it on brand back to the cartoon series. Works for me. Both of these in all gray. A little bit of a skull action on here, but just basically plain silver gray swords going on right there. Looking good, though. But the true main event of this, of course, is going to be He-Man. Very interesting. He-Man's got a spot to store his sword on the back. We're here for that. We haven't got that, I don't think. Have we ever got that before? That might be brand new with him. But we got He-Man here. No doubt about it. You know it's He-Man in the head, but man, oh man, is that a crazy haircut. Like a little Dutch boy, or I don't know what he is, but it's definitely an interesting haircut. I don't know if I can co-sign on it here in 2023, but man, 1983... all the chicks love this haircut. If you were a guy wearing this haircut, I just think you were just living the life. There's no doubt about it. But He-Man, a good stoic face on him. He got the big black eyebrows going on, kind of raised up. He's ready to pounce. He's ready to fight somebody if he has to. But a good representation of the cartoon, I will definitely say that. Got the beautiful vest on He-Man, so iconic. Got the Iron Cross on the front there. I'm not sure what that's all about. A lot of controversy on that over the years, as we do know. But we do got that going there. Got the orange on the forearms. We got the belt, of course, looking good. Eternia's finest loincloth in brown, patented He-Man color. And then got those brown boots down below as well. So it is He-Man. There's no doubt. You hand this to anybody. Who is this? They're going to know it's He-Man all day long. Articulation going to be the exact same as Beast-Man with the arms going around. Single jointed elbows side to side. Hands back forth side to side. No extra hands with this. Anything else like Beast-Man. Head back forth side to side. Head removable. Of course, waist articulation. Big old splits if you need them. Then we got the double jointed, or I should say single jointed knees. But you do get the side to side boot cut. Ankles back forth side to side. All the usual Masters Universe articulation that we got in Origins. Now we get in the cartoon series. And what do you know? Fits perfectly on a stand as well, just like Beast-Man did. No surprises there. And you can put, it looks like does either sword work here? I guess either sword works in this back here, and I guess you could almost stick both of them. No, it's a little tight. But yeah, I guess either sword works. Neither of them are a perfect fit all the way to the end, but they both will sit in there if you need to. So that's how that's going to work for us right there. But of course, we got He-Man's. Of course, we got the Origin style He-Man, always looking really good. Definitely different, though. We could do a little head swap in between these. Maybe I'll do that for the glamour shot. We'll see what happens. But looking good there. And then, of course, once again, just like Beast-Man, we got the Classics edition, which is just very iconic to me. I absolutely love this one. But a lot of similarities, as there should be, between these two. Makes all the sense in the world. But a lot of fun to be had here. So a new dawn is upon us in the Masters Universe Collector's Corner here. And for kids, too, of course. Don't forget the kids. It's about the children at the end of the day. But a very cool one, some new He-Man beginnings. If you've been on the fence, you've watched a lot of He-Man, never dived your feet into the Origins, Masterverse, whatever, well, you got new collections starting up. You could start from the ground floor. That's always the best way to do it, and that's always the cheapest way to do it most of the time as well. So a perfect opportunity if you've been on the fence in the He-Man collection to jump in here with Series 1. Of course, these are hitting stores here in the next couple of months. What is time? Maybe Christmas. I think you'll see them a heck of a lot more come January, February, but we'll see what happens. But I'm here for it. I love some He-Man, and I guess the Double Up Club does continue in the future for me. We'll see how that ends up shaking out in the future. But there it is, Beast-Man and He-Man from the new cartoon collection. What are your guys' thoughts? You all in? You all out? You still thinking about it? You got to see them in hand? Let me know your thoughts. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this new cartoon line, as I think a lot of people have been looking for this for a while. But you guys let me know what you think. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Subscribe to this channel and the other YouTube channel. And don't forget about Patreon for early access to this video and all the other videos, even from the other channel, early for you guys on the Patreon. Of course, Patreon, your best way to support this very YouTube channel. And a lot of stuff going on there every single day. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram and on Threads. So for Beastman, He-Man, and cartoons everywhere, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.